Now, if you're like a lot of motion graphic artists, you'll notice that your projects have a lot of different source footage elements. And if you don't organize your project panel accordingly, you could end up with a mess very quickly. So in this video, we're just going to dedicate ourselves to creating an organized project. This will make life easier for us as we continue moving on. But it'll also make life easier for anybody else should they want to pick up this project later on. Let's look at what we have in our project panel. You can see I have an Illustrator file, I have a folder, and if we open that folder, it has Photoshop layers. I also have a video file and I have two compositions. Let's double click on the stair rundown comp. Now, I know this one composition just has video footage in it, and my training swoosh composition just has layers in it. So I don't necessarily want to render both files. What I need to do is just render this training swoosh comp. So what I'm going to do is click on this composition and drag it down to the new folder button. When I let go, it's going to create an untitled folder. Now let's go ahead and rename this folder. AAA_output_comps. This way I know, and anybody who opens this project knows, these are the compositions that I'm actually rendering out of them. That I'm actually rendering out from. So if we open that, notice my training swoosh comp is already in there. Now another folder I like to create is the graphics folder. So let's go ahead and create a folder here. And just call it graphics. So I'll go ahead and drag my Illustrator file into there and my Photoshop source layers into that graphics folder. So what do we do with the stair rundown comp? Well, there's another comp that's not necessarily an output comp. So I'll just go ahead and click on that stair rundown comp and drag it down to the new folder icon in here. We can say other comps. Now for the stair rundown footage, let's go ahead and just drag this down to the new folder icon. And we'll just call this video footage. So now I have things organized in a very clear fashion. The only other thing that we need to do is actually add our video footage into the background here. Because notice as I scrub in the training swoosh comp, I don't have any actual video footage in there. So let's go to our stair rundown composition just by clicking on the tab in the timeline. Then I click on layer 1 and copy it, Command C or Control C. And then let's select this background layer and then paste our layer. Notice when I pasted the layer, it went right above the selected background layer. This is exactly what I wanted, and notice the video is off center. So since I have that layer already selected, I am just going to go ahead and reposition by clicking and dragging the layer. I'll just reposition it up here to the upper left section. Notice it did automatically paste the 10 seconds that I wanted to use. Now, of course, we could tweak this positioning a little bit more, but we've already dropped in our background video, so we're pretty much done with this selection of our training. But just before we jump out, I'm going to turn off the visibility of my background layer, since that's just a reference layer. And since we aren't using any audio, I'll just go ahead and turn off the audio for my background layer. Now I know I no longer need the stair rundown comp. So let's go ahead and make that active in the timeline and then click the X to close that composition. Should I ever want to open it again, I can just go to my other comps folder and just double click the stair rundown comp again. But let's go ahead and just make sure it's closed. Close that up, double click on the training swoosh comp to make it active, and now we're really organized and ready to rock for the rest of our graphics build.